Colombia with my wife to visit her sister, and he was jet lagged, so I had to stay home with him. He slept like 12 hours. It's insane. But I had a phone interview that afternoon, and he was playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm like, you be quiet in here. Daddy's on the phone. He comes out, Daddy, I want a new game. I go, I'm like, what are you doing? I had to literally tell the woman I had to put her down and say I have to go talk to him. And then I had to like literally run around my house. I went in the basement. I went outside. All this stuff to try to escape him. It was brutal. It was brutal. Anyway, sorry, but I saw the thing you do with Mark, the 5-minute thing. That was funny with the pyramid. I don't know why he found it so funny about the pyramids, but whatever.
I don't know what. Yeah, it's so funny because, like, to me, that's just such a normal question. But I told that to my friend. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're a racist." And I'm like, "No, I'm not, though. That's the thing. It's like I don't."
Well, if he's Egyptian and his parents are from Egypt, he probably went there and saw.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He said he went there. It wasn't just like, "Oh, you're Egyptian. Have you been to the pyramids?" No, it's like I asked him why he had gotten his glasses, and that he said he got them when he was in Egypt. So that's why I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't even thought he was Egyptian, you know. I mean, I'm kind of clueless when it comes to stuff like that, and I think that's the whole funny part. But yeah, man.
I mean, you mentioned he went to Egypt, so more than likely, if you went to Egypt, you're probably going to see the pyramids.
I want to go see the pyramids. I mean,
no shit, right? I know. I hear
the way I looked at it was like, all right, imagine if someone foreign was like, oh, you're from America, have you been to Vegas? And it's like, yeah, I've been there, but it's not everything I associate with being an American. But
right,
I wouldn't hold it against
them. I didn't take it.
But yeah, dude, so I'm recording and I want to post this to my podcast, and I don't know, what do you think?
Do I sound clear?
You sound good.
Yeah, you don't. You sound all
fuck. On my end, I sound good.
Yeah, you sound all staticky on my end. Do you want to try call back on Zoom, maybe?
Let me turn off this YouTube video.
That sounds better.
How's that?
Way better. Yep.
Okay, I didn't like having the YouTube video playing.
I was for him. So.
And then we'll film the Valuencer show, and that'll just be like a piece of it or something. What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking,
what do you want to do, man?
What I would like to do, I mean, of course, is have, we'll have guests eventually.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then we can both talk. I don't want to steal your podcast thing at all. If you want to try simulcast it, I guess you could do that too. Is that what you were trying to do? You want to record it and is that what you want to do?
I don't know. I'm open. I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, I'm open to anything, you know. I mean, I think this episode would be cool to post there, but I'm not saying every episode has to be like that. It could be its own entity.
Yeah. Why don't we do this? Why don't we see how the reception of it is?
Because I was thinking that, there's no necessarily a reason that I need to be a co-host. Like, you can definitely do your own, well,
your own thing. I mean, I kind of wanted it. I think it's kind of good too to have, like, sounds stupid, but an East and West Coast perspective. Younger, older, all that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that. I'm not saying I'm not down to be a co-host. I'm just talking about it, throwing it out there.
Yeah. I think I'd rather, I think I'd rather have you because you've done this, right?
Well, I'm delighted. I'm pleased, dude. I'm pleased, and it would help as far as getting new people to talk to. So, I'm game for.
I think that would be good too. And if this Valuencer thing, takes off, whatever, and I had a meeting last night talking to somebody about it. Of course, I'd love you to be part of it. So,
thank you.
You'll see where it goes. The only thing that sucks, dude, is I thought I bought the domain. I thought I did, and I guess it didn't go through with my domain company, and I didn't get it, and someone already bought the thing, which pisses me off to no end. But I bought .net, so at least that's something. But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you can buy it for $998. I'm like, no, that's not fucking happening.
Oh, dude.
I was so pissed. Oh God, I know. I double checked it last night. I had an order. It had an order receipt, but it never got processed. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? I was so pissed. But anyway,
I always use Google domains for my stuff. It's really easy.
Oh, Google domain. Oh, that's good to know now. Well, I have like 3 domains on this company called Servage, so I went that route. And
you could transfer it into your Gmail account. It'd be pretty. It's nice because then it's attached to your Gmail. It's not a third company. It's got to look really good documentation. They hook up to an email server.
Definitely. Yeah. You can. Yeah, we can.
The website's not the issue. I mean, the real thing is doing something that has value and of meeting. And I like that you said that we could bring a different perspective, like East Coast, West Coast, young, old, you know, however you want to spin
Wicked
it.
fucking old. I was having, I think I was going to comment to Mark on your post. I'm like, he's like 50s and 60s. I'm like, I'm happy you didn't say 45. So I appreciate that. But
45 years old or born in 45?
Yeah, no shit. It depends what day it is for me sometimes, the way I feel. But no, so my whole take on this thing is, I know you weren't keen on the Valuencers Unite, but I kind of like that because, you know, that's what we're kind of doing here.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of want the Valuencer company, whatever, to like bring all these people together so you can weed out the bullshit, you know what I mean? And people can find the people they need to talk to. That's kind of the grandiose kind of idea I'm coming up with. But anyway,
it's kind of like a community, kind of like
the
Misfits in a way, but with a different different mission and different group
now and all that stuff. But I wanted just to be like, you know, I just did a video the other day. So yet again, I had one video. The algorithm is driving me bananas. Like I posted yesterday, like during the middle of the day, and I thought, hey, it's Tuesday. I do 140 views, right? So who knows with this algorithm anymore? But anyway, I mean, I just, like I said, I just want people to be like, you know, the human, transparent side, the people that, you know, cut away all the bullshit. There's too much bullshit in the world as it is. Do you know what I mean? I kind of just want to get to the heart of the matter with people and like talk to Q like about, you know, like I like to call it the crossroads. Like everybody has their own. This is a question we can actually do for each other if you want to. Tonight's call, like, you know, what is the crossroad? What crossroad did you come up to? Like for you, you quit your fucking job because you weren't happy and you went the route you wanted to go. So that was like a crossroad. That was a big moment, right?
Yes.
And I had, you know, multiple big moments in my life too. And that's kind of what the video I did the other day was about.
Yeah.
It's like, did I always make the right choices? No. But the thing is, you got to embrace the journey.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it, you know? But if you want, we could just kind of make this just be organic, I guess, the first one, see how it goes. And I guess, you know, I need your help too with the editing and shit because you're way better than I am on that. It doesn't have to be like fucking Oscar award winning, but just something that's presentable. I'm kind of more of a raw versus refined anyway, but just to have an intro and shit on there, you know what I mean, right?
Okay, so, and yeah,
you could just fuck around with it whenever. I mean, I trust your, you know, your skill set and shit. So you could just, when you have time, you could just kind of polish it up. So see how it goes. So how do you want to go? How should we? Because you do a lot of the podcasts.
What are those questions that you had?
Fuck, I emailed them. Didn't I?
I can pull them up. Let's pull them up.
Oh, you do? Good.
Pull them up, Jamie.
Pull it up, buddy.
So, what I thought would be kind of cool is like,
do you still have YouTube on? Because I can still hear the garble.
Oh, the gargle. Oh,
no, you sound good now. Sounds better now. Did you shut it off?
No.
I don't know. It just seems static. Maybe it's fine now. All right, we'll just roll with it. So go ahead with the questions again.
Yeah.
I did send them. I know. God, so much going on.
Wasn't it attached to the meeting?
Was it?
Okay. Shit. Here are some questions. I'm pulling it up.
Good for you. Good for you. At least you got your shit together.
What inspired you to do your first video?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, I'll ask you these.
Okay, we can do that.
I have the questions.
Oh, you suck. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, this is good though. This is good. Gives background, and I mean, I can ask the question right back at you too. I think that's a good one too.
What inspired you to do?
Video.
I don't know.
So can we do these in segments and you can splice them together, or how you can do it?
We'll just go back and forth.
Okay, I don't have the questions.
All right, no. So, what I'll ask you.
Do you want to forward them back to me? Do you want to forward it back to me so I have it on my phone? Fucking A. God damn it. I'm a disaster. Zach's like, I cannot work with people like you. Fucking A. Where is it? God.
It's okay. You just gotta bring different skills to the table.
Oh, you're cutting out again. It might be my internet connection, actually.
Dude. Joe Gill. All right, we're emailing you the questions.
Joe Gill 88. Yeah, here we go.
Thank you, audience, for chilling along with us.
Yeah, thank you, Peanut Gallery.
Part of the ride. This is how you make a show, ladies and gentlemen.
This is called embracing the madness.
I really want to go to Hypergrowth next week.
Where's that?
Boston.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that John was talking about. Yeah, it's on Tuesday. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Pearl Jam that night, so I got stuff going on. Not a bad thing.
Mark's going there, and my other friend is going there too.
What's that to the show?
To Hypergrowth, yeah.
Well, if you end up going, let me know. We'll go hang out before Pearl Jam.
It's just such a mish to get on the other, especially going that way. It like kills a whole day,
Well, I know. Where's all these spaceships and shit and time travel? Fuck.
It's like 5 hours, Okay, so Joe, welcome to be on. Thank you for being on the Valuencer show, Joe. Valuencers Unite.
Valuencers Unite. Like your fist and my fist, you just hit each other and like boom. Yeah, we should do. Boom. Yes. But I don't know if you probably way too young for this. But
3
Wonder Twins Unite. You ever hear that?
No.
You get
3
Super Friends. Google
2
it. Okay.
1.
Valuencers Unite. Yeah, right. And here we are.
Okay, Zack Scriven. Joe, thank you for being on the Valuencer show. Thank you for founding the term Valuencer. Joe, what is a Valuencer for those that don't know?
Well, I think it's someone that, brings value, it leads with value, right? Rather than influence and following. Do you know what I mean? I just think so many people are hung up on how many followers they get or how many views their video gets, or sometimes I get caught in that trap. But it's about the value bring. If you make an impact on one person, that's all that really matters. I think that's what this platform is all about and why I really love it so much. But yeah, like I said, it's like being transparent, genuine, human, right? And like Q, I told you, like Q kind of inspired the whole thing because he was like, "There's so many titles, and people think you're, a guru or an influencer." This, I go, "How about you just a valuencer, man? You just bring value." I mean, it's pretty simple, right? So that's how I came up with the idea. I actually copywrote the word. It's, going through the U.S. patent, taking 3 months to do whatever. But yeah, everybody's like, you got to copyright it. You got to do stuff with it. And I'm trying, Zach. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. So Joe, what I gotta know, man. What inspired you to do your first LinkedIn video? Let's put it that way.
Good thing. All right. You know who Michaela Alexis is?
I do.
Yeah.
Wait. Michaela Alexis, the person, or Michaela Alexis, the company brand?
The person first. Became a brand. She was probably, I would say, this before the video explosion hit on LinkedIn. She was probably the first person that I followed all her content on LinkedIn. That's when LinkedIn really took the turn from being a boring, static online resume, to basically being a community, because she was telling her story, and I could kind of relate with it. It's always tough to try to find professionals that you can relate with. They go through the same stuff you go through. Do you know what I mean? So she was like the first one that says, "I don't give a crud who hears my story, who doesn't like what I say. This is what it was. This is my story. It's not glitzy, not glamorous, but here it is." And I took so much, I had so much respect for her to go that route, especially on a professional platform. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it really had a huge impact on me. Like, I remember starting at this job I'm at now 2 years ago, telling people, like, if you're on LinkedIn, you have to follow Michaela Alexis. She's amazing. And I was also even talking about Carlos Gil as well. You know who Carlos Gil is, right? Yeah. So those two, I would say, are the two that really kind of like the first Valuencers, if you will, that I ever followed. So Michaela did a video, because she had the video capability before like most of us did. And I remember going, where the hell is this icon? I can't find. I'm Googling it. Where is the video icon?
I remember this story.
Do you remember this? I told you.
You wrote an article saying, let me into the party. I'll bring chips, and you wanted access to the video, and finally you got it. And but what was your first video again?
So I think the first video again was oh god, it was one of the campaigns, the hashtag campaigns, like you challenged me with the 7
first video,
yeah. It was like first video or something. I actually remember what I was wearing and all this. I had a dress shirt on. I was
don't remember the hashtag.
Yeah, but I can't remember the damn hashtag or what it was about. But she inspired me, because I was like, and then when I got the actual capability of getting the video, I'm like, I can't waste this opportunity, man. I've been talking about it, or an article about it. So it was just great to really get out there. I've done Facebook Live for like my Boston Bruins community and stuff like that, and I'm really more comfortable behind the camera than in front of it.
Yeah.
Well, actually behind the screen, I should say, than in real life, which is weird because as you got to know me, like at the beginning, I'm shy, but then I won't shut up. It's kind of one of those things. But I'm going to go right back to my Valuencer Unite partner and go, what was your first video? What inspired you?
So my first LinkedIn video, from what I recall, it was one of those things I don't really remember actually the first time seeing that I could upload native video.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it was a video I posted back in February. It was weird because it was like just a 9-minute and 58-second video, so it's just under 10 minutes. So it just happened to. I think that was my first video because I remember
like the Godfather of videos.
I was looking up the upload limits. I'm like, can I upload HD? Like, what can I do here? What are the file types? And so I saw that it was 10-minute max. But anyways, this video, 9-minute video, just me talking. I had done an accompanying blog post about why I left a company called Vertec, and I was like, why I left Vertec. And it was kind of strange, because it's like who would post that right on LinkedIn?
Right.
But it was I put a spin on it in a and then I left the company that I left since leaving Vertex. So now it's like I'm not even like, because that was I left to go to kind of not a competing company, but just a different company in that space. And yeah, so one of the reasons was more money, and but really it was just kind of like, it was a necessary part of my personal growth to where I'm at now, right?
Right.
So I don't think they took it the wrong way, but I mean, some of them obviously took it the wrong way. It's like I'm publicizing that I left their company, but I did say like really good things about their company. So anyone who actually listened heard that I said, they actually were a better company than the company I left to. In my opinion, they had a better culture and stuff. Yeah, the pay was a little bit less, but I think the trade-off. Yeah, what are you gonna say, man?
No. I was just saying it's like it's going to be like most professionals are going to be like LeBron James with the decision. Like, where am I going to go for my next job? And then you announce it. It's probably never going to happen.
Dude, it was so hard. One of the reasons was I'm like, dude, this is bullshit that I have to leave it's like to make more money, you kind of have to leave companies in a weird way. Like you kind of
no,
they don't they'll like and I was like, oh, they're pushing off my review and this and that. So I kind of did. I got a little like, I'll go look somewhere else, But in hindsight, if my goal were to stay in the industry, I would have been better off staying with that company. But yeah, that was my first LinkedIn video, Joe.
Well, that's good. Thank you for the story on that. Hey, I get and I got a little confession to make. This is I think I've told you this before. Like when I met you and Scott at LinkedIn Local Boston. Yeah. I'm one of those old fuddy-duddies that had the old millennial, lazy, entitled, all that bullshit. Yeah. And, I feel so bad now because after meeting, like, you two dudes.
Thanks, man.
Well, no, I'm not going to cry, I swear. But, like, you guys would just said, hey, I'm not happy where I'm going in my life and this path, and I'm just going to do. I'm just going to
From that perspective, leaving Vertec was such a good thing for me because when I went to SOFA, I mean, I just might as well say the name of the company. You can go look at my LinkedIn profile, it's easier. So I left Vertec, which is a really good company. I went to SOFA. They weren't a bad company. They were just a lot. It made me realize why I shouldn't be doing that and why ultimately what led me into doing this. So it was a good thing that it ended up happening, even though if I were to say, I probably shouldn't have left. The lesson I learned, don't leave a good company to go make more money at another company.
No, because,
so that was a good lesson to learn.
Yep.
But once I learned that, now I'm happy making half what I used to, doing videos and traveling to Boston and getting to meet cool guys like you, man. And
this is true. Well, like we talked about off air in our planning meeting about crossroads, man. That was your crossroad. Like, I'm not happy. Where am I going to go? And I kind of had the same thing. When I got laid off for the second time, someone asked me to write for a sports blog, and I started doing that. And then I started really creating content and work with my audience, and kind of like being that mad scientist, right? Experimenting what worked, what didn't work. To get Frankenstein off the examination table. And then I started a sports networking event I did for like 8 years, but, met so many awesome people. Like I said, he was like a crossroads, and then you went on your journey and you have to embrace that journey. As bad as it's going to possibly suck and you're going to go through a lot of shit, end of the day is like you got to look for the silver linings, and that's kind of what I did in one of my past videos. Is like look at the good things. I met so many awesome people
Yeah.
that I probably would have never met if I stayed at a job for 15 years. Do you know what I mean? So, life isn't easy. Life is hard, but the thing is, you got to look at the things that happen because of this good comes out of bad, right?
Yeah.
Like your job wasn't exactly what you want at that time, but you're going this route and you're way happier, right?
It's kind of crazy.
What's that?
I'm just realizing this now. It's kind of ironic that my first LinkedIn video was a video about me quitting my previous job, and then it wasn't just about 3 months later, like in March or May, when I actually then quit my job in my career in engineering entirely to jump full feet into this, and that it was almost kind of like what set that into motion in a little way. Because what I realized was like the engagement was so high on LinkedIn that I was like, what the heck? I kept telling my friend, I'm like, dude, are you seeing this, dude? Like I post a YouTube video and I get like 10 views, and that's like a lot. Then post a LinkedIn video, it gets 4,000 views or something, So, and
it was weird. Mentioned that too.
Like 20 people from the company Vertex saw that video, and I was like, oh, that's weird. It's like a lot of people are seeing this, and that's what I was like. I'm like, I want to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about, because I feel like documenting that part of the journey is important. Else to learn, and actually being able to change the system and improve things that we don't like. No,
I mean, like I was mentioned about Michaela, she said things that I was feeling, but I couldn't say at that time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good that to know, like, even your family and friends, unless they're in it, they don't really understand it. Do you know what I mean? They have to kind of be in your shoes, really. Like when I got laid off, everybody's like, oh, I'm sorry, that must be terrible. I know what you're going through. No, you don't. Actually, no, you don't at all. Not to be a jerk, but you have no idea what I'm going through. Because like getting laid off, dude, is like probably the most confusing, humbling, degrading, disappointing, soul-searching time of your life, because you're like, I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I did everything I was asked to do, and they just cut me and threw me to the wayside, and that's happened to me 4 times, dude. The 4-bagger Grand Slam. So it's like, wow, But the thing I learned is every time one of those times happened to me, the first time, I'm not gonna lie to you, 30 years old, girlfriend, relationship ended, my parents split up, and then I got laid off and blew my shoulder out. All this stuff happened at the same time. It's like my crossroads, right? This is my midlife crisis at 30 years old. And I went out drinking, spent money, and just was stupid, completely dumb, right? Because I didn't know how to really deal with it. But what happened was from that, Zach, is I learned that the second time it happened, I wasn't going to let that happen again. So I learned that new skill set. I reinvented myself. I got into social media and content marketing and building networking events and build my own personal brand, right? And then the third time I got let go, I kept honing those skills, kept getting better, then I ended up landing bigger clients like THX and Unos and all this stuff. So it was like a progression, right? Over time, it was an evolution, if you will.
Yeah.
I was being, it was reinventing myself. That's exactly what I did. So, but these are all moments, all crossroads we had. And it's like, what path are you going to go down and what are you going to do with it? So, like I said, it's tough. It's not easy. What you did is not easy. I'm sure you had to talk to your fiance, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You had to talk to her, and I bet
I had
the baby.
Yeah. I didn't just do it without her being okay with it.
Oh, sure. Tell me, do you mind talking about that a little bit? Because I think that's a big part of it. Yeah. So, how did your fiance? You have a child. How did she? When you said I'm going to quit my job,
she was like, "You're crazy."
Right. Yep.
Yeah. To tell her I was going to quit my job to pursue content creation on LinkedIn, like that part she didn't really like. But what I told her, like, hey, if I'm not busy, I can pick up extra, work here or there, like doing programming, doing what I used to do, like, because I have a lot of free time now. Yeah. So that's what I did. And her knowing that I would still be able to kind of do some some contract work.
Yeah.
Some freelance work that.
Right.
And, really, yeah, just, slowly showing her that, it would.
Well, you had a plan. You had a plan.
It's a viable career.
You had a plan. You still had a plan. You're going to, help provide for your family.
Yeah.
Get to probably see your daughter a little bit more, which is pretty awesome.
But like, so it was like, it was a plan, but it was like on the threshold of barely acceptable. Like, it was barely passable because there was a lot of uncertainty. I'm not gonna lie, like let's not sugarcoat that either. Yeah, and that was really what was hard because, and that's, it's almost like I jumped on to the fact that's like, all right, if I do this, it's actually going to be really like, people are going to look up to the fact that I had the courage to do that. And then they're going to start doing their thing. And people did, like, people started tagging me in their videos. People I'd never even like seen or engaged with. They're like, oh, my first LinkedIn video. And thank you, Zach and a few other people. And I'm like, what the heck did I do?
Oh, you did a lot. Well, like me, you took this old fuddy-duddy and said, hey, that millennial label's garbage because, these guys and gals are just, you know what? I'm not happy. I'm going to just take that leap because, dude, I wish I could have done that 20 years ago. 15 years ago, I could have moved to Atlanta, Georgia before I met my wife and all this stuff and started a whole new. But you know what? I couldn't do it because I'm like, I got friends here and family here. And I had only a couple friends down in Atlanta. And, it's like all the Valuencers out there talking like you shouldn't let things hold you back. You should just go. But it's still scary, man. You don't have a foundation. It's either money or friends or family, and you're going into cold turkey. It's not easy.
Yeah. So Joe, how do you, as a Valuencer, how do you provide value through your content?
That's a good question. I wonder where you got that question from. But no. Well, I think from meeting me too. I think, which is awesome that we actually met. We actually met in Boston, so which is awesome. I'm a no BS guy, dude. I am who I am. That's it. I mean, I just talk from the heart, and it might get me in trouble sometimes because I'm too honest. But that's just who I am. I just think I've been through a lot in my life, and I think I've had one person on this platform thank me up and down. She was like, you're so important, things you taught me. And I'm like you said, I'm like, what did I teach you? Like, what did I really say? But like, these are life stories that people can relate with and what they went through and what they can look at from an inspiration standpoint. Like, I had, I got thyroid cancer, and that was scary as shit, dude. Having a tumor in your neck the size of like probably a golf ball, or maybe even probably a little bigger than that, is scary. And that's like a life-changing moment. That's like,
yeah,
am I going to die? What's going on? Because, it was stage 3. So that was no joke. So those are the things that just like, I'm not going to take anything for granted in my life. Anything, you just can't. And I got a second lease on life, and I'm not going to waste it. So I just try to tell my stories and try to help people. And like people helped me in my time of need when I was sick. So just kind of trying to return the favor, if you will.
Awesome.
How do you provide value? I
was going to ask you. Thank you for asking.
well, I've got to get right back. It's like the round table. We can just spin it around.
I was going to tell you anyways.
Yeah. Right. Cool. All right.
I think, like I was saying, people find a lot of, they like my authenticity. They like my bravery. They like almost, even to sometimes my own disadvantage, even if it's maybe a bit naive. I mean,
being vulnerable. Yeah.
I've gone down the bumper, if this is a bowling alley of LinkedIn, I've hit the bumpers far too many times to get towards the pins, but I'm making it towards the pins.
Yeah.
And the bumpers are up because you can't really do any wrong. It's like social media. What do they say? No publicity is bad publicity, right?
Oh, that's a true story. I mean, we know the incident you just had, right, with a couple of the ladies, and you apologized, and I thought that was awesome and admirable.
Yeah, man, we don't talk about that anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So I've basically, I'm learning, and I've managed to not make too many enemies, but at the same time, I've also learned that there are going to be people that don't like you no matter what. So,
true story.
I think that's an important lesson that I learned there. I spent far too much of my energy trying to get people to like me and validate me, who are don't even care about me. You know what I'm saying?
That's that's the base of Valuencer, is providing value. You don't need validation, man. If they don't, I kind of did a video about trolls too, and I know Quentin alums went off on trolls and stuff. They just did to tear you down, honest to God, because they're jealous because they can't do what we do. They just don't have the courage to do so. I told a story about how I wrote a sports blog about the New England Patriots season ticket holder policy about 8 years ago. That I didn't care that we didn't spend all this money and we didn't get anything back. And I got attacked like attacked and attacked from every angle. They took pictures of my wife and I off Facebook and put it into a forum. They attacked us and said my wife was a mail order bride, and like, dude, nasty stuff. It was, that's when it gets personal. It's family.
Yeah.
And it just like my friend told me, he's like, you got to take the high road, man. Just ignore it, ignore the noise. And that's what I learned. I mean, if you throw yourself out there in social media, you're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's good though, because I already post controversial content. So that kind of comes along with that. That's the nature of that beast, like when I posted the male Brazilian waxing. That's another way. That's another way I provide value in my content. So what I did was
shocking. That was shocking. I didn't know what you were doing. I literally click the button.
You watched that video?
I'm like, I watched the video. I'm like, what is he doing when you came out of the shower? I was like,
okay, so yeah.
Whoa, what's going on here? And then I found out, I'm like, oh, I see what he's doing, because I was like, whoa, bro, what are you doing?
So the video worked then. So the video was to push the boundaries, which is what I pretty much always do. Yeah. Obviously to draw attention and to promote that I was going to this LinkedIn local event with Quentin Allums was going to be at. So, I like surrounding myself. I mean, me and Quentin are pretty much friends at this point. I've seen him like at VidCon and at LinkedIn local Phoenix East Valley. I went to LinkedIn local Milwaukee.
Milwaukee looked unbelievable. Yeah, it looked like a great time.
They did a really good event. They were really good at throwing events, and it was pretty cool.
You know what you did? You know what you did when your videos that you brought a lot of value?
Yeah.
Is a simple thing just to show people how to get in the building. Seriously, I thought that was great, because evidently you're not the only one that probably got lost.
Yeah.
So
if I was like that, because I went to the Facebook group and I was like, how do I freaking get in here? And if I saw that video, it would have helped. So I am kind of in a way, I'm kind of like a variety content creator. Mm-hmm. Because I like to do a lot of different things. So yeah, the male Brazilian waxing video, that was a way I brought value to someone who else is very active on LinkedIn, Lori Corrigan, who posts a lot of edgy, funny, humorous jokes about male Brazilian, waxing your balls and the snake. Her company's name is the Snake Charmer, so that pretty much tells you exactly what you need to know about her. So I had gotten a male Brazilian before. I'm like, hey, like, would you be down to have someone talk about it as a client on LinkedIn? Because I'm pretty much the only person that in the world that will probably be able to talk about it and get the waxing done too. So boom, 2-in-1 combination.
Yeah, I'm all set.
So then it promotes her business. It promotes me as, a content creator / crazy person. And so that was a crazy content creator. And so
you think outside the box, man.
It was fun.
Outside the box.
And I got a free wax out of it. Those are like $90 retail value.
Yeah, so. I hope you enjoyed that, because I remember that scene from 4-Year-Old Virgin, and I never want to do that in my life. But the thing about what you do well, I feel, this is the butter up Zach moment, is that you do think outside the box, because you kind of have to. There's so much content out there and so much stuff that just cluttering up your feed and just your life and in general, that you got to have something that just like makes you stop and go, what's that all about? Like I said with the video when you're coming out of the shower, I'm like, I didn't say, I'm like, holy shit, what's he doing? But it made me stop. It made me click. It made me like wince in pain. But I was like, hey, what's he doing? But that's what I'm saying. That's the value you brought. You brought entertainment value. At the same time, you help promote her company, right? Yeah. So there's all, like a company like that, you have to have an edge to it. You have to think outside the box. You can't be like, come get a waxing, it'll be fun. Like that's not going to be much. It's going to do shit.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to ask you quick.
Oh, I was just about to ask you. What are you going to ask me?
I'm going to just do that right to you. So back to you. That's every time I ask a question, we can hit the fist. So what Valuencers? I know what I'm going to, tell you the first time I ever noticed you, man, was not the shower scene. The first time I noticed you was your top 10 lists.
Yeah.
Those were great. I hope you do more of them, and I hope I make one day. But those are great because people love lists and people love countdowns. And if they're new to the platform, I think that it just encapsulates. It's a good like shopping list. Oh, these are the people you should follow. Like I love those posts because that's just you're playing it forward, right? You're helping these people out, but you're also helping the newbies out to tell them who to follow. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
So
I that's how I first noticed you. I was like, and plus you do your thing and your
the third part that is maybe more subtle, interesting you didn't notice it, is that, or you didn't mention, is that the third part that it accomplishes is it kind of conveys who I am based on who I like and who I follow. That tells you a little bit about me. I mean, the way I looked at it is like, I don't think any person on the platform, if they made their top 10, there would be any duplicates, because it's, you know, maybe the top 5 might be duplicate, but like once you get to 7, 8, and 9, it's kind of really random. You know, it's more really who you talk with, your network, and so it is kind of like a digital fingerprint. And I thought that was what was interesting about it.
No, I like that too. Like I said, everybody has it. People all different. The you know, having a value which you resonate with different people in different ways, right? People like you, some people may not like you, but the thing is, it's all about the 3 C's that I say. It's like that content, right? You got to have that content that's going to connect, with your and build out your community, and you do that. I try to do that, and I think we're all doing a good job of that. Like, you know, you had your top 10 list. I had my Mount Rushmore of Valuencers, if you will. It's like our man Jeff Larson. Oh, that's another thing. Your parody of him, phenomenal. He's such a good sport too. That dude, I got to meet that dude. You have to go to LinkedIn Local, North Dakota, wherever he lives.
So for those of you that are just listening, I mean, I wish there was a way I could play it and you could hear it. I could definitely play it and the podcast hears it, but I'll link it below. But it's a really good parody, and yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. It's hard to really describe what kind of content I do. If I had to choose one, I think it would be parody is my style. But
don't do me ever, please, dude. I don't think you can do a Boston accent at all.
When I did this parody of Jeff Larson, Emma Pearson made a parody.
I heard about it. Yep.
And then also Michael Smith. So 2 other people then created parodies. It's like I started a challenge without even calling it a challenge, you know?
Yep. See, you did. That was funny stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely entertainment. And I try to bring love, you know, to everyone that I talk to and work with. You know, I try to bring positivity and just acceptance. And I think that's what I want to be about. Am I like that all the time? No, of course not. You know, I'm human, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you lead with value.
Yeah, man, that's why that's why I think this platform's great, because I don't think anybody's out for anything. You know what I mean? I don't think we're not out there. We're not making millions of dollars off this like YouTube. We're not making, you know, on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, like going and buying an image. We're earning this. This is organic. This is why I liked about LinkedIn, that people are talking about struggles in their careers and their life and all this, because guess what? It all intermingles with each other, man. You know what I mean? It's not like your life outside of work and your work life are not intermingled. Of course they are. You know, they're part. You know, things at work affect you. Things at home affect your work. But you know, you just, like you said, you're just human. It's going to affect you. So it's kind of good to have people help you through those times. Like, you probably saw the video I posted, you know, when I said all my views were going down, like it happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like, you start doing the soul search, and you start doing the introspection, going,
dude, that's my bad, man.
Stuff? No. It made me think too. It's like, am I any good at this? And I'll tell you, the community came out in droves.
I think that's a good example though, because who knows, maybe it was my video talking about that got you thinking about that.
No, you did.
So I kind of spread negativity. So
I wouldn't say it's negativity. I think all the algorithms and all these different platforms are just, who knows what they are.
Okay, yeah, right. I'm not taking I'm not taking blame for. I'm saying that you were taking it.
I was inspired about that. I mean, it made me think after what you went through, it's happening to me. Like, what they call it, ghosting, you said, or something?
Ghost ban. Or yeah.
Ghost ban, yes.
I still think I'm ghost banned.
No, I don't think. But the thing is, like I told you, I did a video yesterday, had 100 views. So you're like, what's going on? But I got, you know, end of the day, it doesn't matter about the views. It matters about the engagement and the comments. And you and I always engage on each other's stuff, which is great. And not just because we feel we have to, because we want to. That's the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you know, I think in closing, on the first Valuencers, you didn't do the fist thing. Okay. Yeah.
There's still one more. There's still one more question.
Oh, we got one more question. We're gonna definitely have to edit this, but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. You can go. Yeah, we got. This is like Valuencers Unite unplugged.
What Valuencers inspire you?
What Valuencers inspire? Well, Zach, you do to a degree, I have to say. Quentin for sure. He's phenomenal. Like I talked to him it was so funny. I talked to him on the phone back in April because he talks to everybody because that's who he is. He's just an ordinary guy. And I talked to him and I was going through some stuff and he's like, dude, I love what you do on, on LinkedIn. I'm like, and then you're like, what do you mean me? You like my stuff? Like that was like, I know you're not looking for validation, but that made you like, hey, one of these guys that you look up to. It doesn't matter. He's 25 and I'm 45. I don't care. I look up to him. You too to agree as well because you guys are just, just doing your own thing, and you just, you went through your own shit, and you keep rowing. That song by Soundgarden. They put keep rowing right through. Jeff Larson helped me kind of with that hashtag. You got to keep rowing right through that tidal wave and that storm. But Quentin's phenomenal. Jeff, yourself, Michaela. The funny thing is you get to tell, you can say these people by their first name. I think people know who they are. Do you know what I mean? Like Quentin, Michaela, Zack Scriven, one word. Who else I got? Matt Gagnon. I took a LinkedIn course with him, man, and I called him Matt, right? Not Mike this time. I called him Mike before. It was so terrible. But anyway, I took a LinkedIn course with him, and it was just phenomenal, all the things he taught me. And then following his journey around up to Maine, and he just sold his stuff and went up there with his wife, his kid. And he's about my age, and that, like, still, dude, I couldn't have the courage to do that, man. You know what I mean? He's got a kid who's the same age as mine, and all that. I mean, that's like, holy shit, that's awesome stuff. That someone could just do that, and that's admirable, and something I really respect.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to, started Werman, if you know who he is, out of Indy. He's really good too. He built his own social media agency, which that social media is a big interest of mine, as you know. So, who are the people that you follow? Who are your go-tos?
Well, everyone on my top 10 LinkedIn creators video, Joe Gill, Mr. Valuencer, obviously you're the first person that comes to mind when I think of Valuencer.
Well, I hope so. I created the word. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Who are some more recent ones? Karen Joseph is a Valuencer.
Who was the person that you met in New York City? What's her name? God, escapes me.
Jen Collings is a Valuencer.
Yeah, she's good. She's fairly new, right? She's fairly new. She's doing a good job too. And I love.
There's another example. I pretty much nudged her to create her first LinkedIn video. She started messaging me, and she was like, "Zach, I think I should make a video." I'm like, what are you going to talk about? And then instead of
you give her advice. Nice.
Yeah, well, I basically I kind of, in a weird way, I almost dismissingly didn't respond. I'm just like, well, let's hear it. Like, she said, you think you're going to tell your story? Like, what's your story? And so
kind of challenge,
but it worked. Yeah, it did. Because I would at least want to know. Like, I showed her interest that I'd be interested in knowing the story. But rather than her writing back the story and just getting to the point, she just made a video about it and then tagged me in it. I'm like, yes, it worked.
There you go. See? Good for you. You gave her the nudge. I think
Yeah, because, we realize so many people message you a day. So it's like, all right, I've never heard you before. How do I know you're not just, like.
Well, I'm not to your level of people messaging me. So I don't have as many people. But when I get to your level, I'll know what you're going through.
Yeah. So that was a cool one. Jen, I'm not at that level. It just, it's just,
No, it was cool, right? It was super cool. You helped, you inspired her. I mean, that.
And then she met up with me. Yeah, so that was cool. And
yeah, that was cool. Like I said, there's, of course, I forget. God, I'm so terrible with names. But there's one woman from California. She mentioned too that I inspired her first video as well. So
when are we going to do a Valuencer meetup?
You know what I was saying? I'm like, I think I did a post. Like, I was trying to say, hey, LinkedIn themselves, why don't you do a national conference and have all the LinkedIn local people or whatever all fly in for it? Like, you got the money, guys. I know Microsoft has got the dough. So, why don't you just do a big users conference? I mean, honestly.
Someone was telling me that they want to do that and they want me to help them do that too, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like who do people think I am? First of all,
dude, you are the Zack Scriven without the S.
I see. The thing is, I'd totally be down, but it's like I don't really know how to throw a big event, and I do. So that's what I'm thinking. It's funny that's what I'm saying. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's like, man, maybe we got to get the crew together.
That's Valuencers Unite. This is what I call this. What I call it, son. But
oh my gosh, I mean, imagine if that's the conference.
Imagine that, dropping mad value, y'all. But this is what we do. Yeah, but no, just like when you went out to that VideoCon, this should be a LinkedIn, Like with Kurt and Jeff and you and Quentin and
dude, that'd be insane, dude.
And Eric and all that. Oh yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh, that'd be insane.
They would fly us in because we are like kicking ass on their platform and stuff. You hear me there, Microsoft. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be phenomenal. But that's for another day. But what do you think of the first Valuencers Unite show?
I like it. Definitely. It's going to require a lot of editing, but I think we can get it. Sure. I think we can get it to a point. Maybe that's a good thing though. I think each one of those questions should be like a 30-second video, and we just post those. Why does it need to be like a full-fledged show?
No, it doesn't. No, it absolutely doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
No. I think because number one, no one's going to watch a 35-minute video.
Exactly. But if we have really good, but if there's really good branding, and it's really short and 30-second videos, and if someone comes on and they give us, let's say, 30 minutes to do the full podcast, and then in there we work in those 5 questions, and we just timestamp it, so then editing is really easy. This is kind of weird because I've almost been structuring my business around this, is being able to do a podcast to get content and then be able to create value by the editing and the workflow and also being the one talking on the camera too. But where is it going with that? I mean, what would you think about that?
No, we just did a big brain dump. That's fine. We kind of went all over the place.
Yeah. And I think that's good though.
And there's probably some shit in here I probably want to take out. Is as much as are we still recording or no? We
are still recording.
Oh wait, we don't need to include this. But anyway, like no. I'm kind of like
this isn't. The full unedited will go on the Zack Scriven podcast, because that's how I have my podcast set up anyways. It's just raw content.
Raw versus refined.
Dude, if you put raw in the LinkedIn headline, you get so many more views, especially if a girl does it.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. But yeah, I just sometimes with talking about the cancer thing, it can work against me sometimes too. When I did the video on it not too long, I was like, oh shit, some companies may not want to hire me because of that, because they ask you disability every time on your resume. Excuse me, on the application, and I never say yes, because
is that a disability?
If you it says right there, if you ever do a job application in the near future, you'll see disability, and then you'll say yes, no, I'd rather not say, and cancer's on there. Like if you ever had it, it doesn't mean if you had it 3 years ago like I did. It's if you ever had it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of a thing. Like, why should I be afraid to talk about that? You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things too, because it's who I am. It's part of my life, and I went through a lot of shit.
What do you say to the person that says, "Well, Joe, you got fired from 4 jobs. How do you know the problem's not you?"
Oh well, yeah, I've been asked those questions, but I think now more than ever, I think it's just part of life now, more than it was 8 years ago. I think it's just the last probably 5. This is how it is. Marketing. I'm always in marketing. Marketing's the first to go. That's usually always the way it happens.
That makes sense.
Also too, it's a numbers game. I mean, I was with an agency. We went from 3 in our department, went from 3 to 30 in like 6 months, and then it imploded. And now 2 years later, the division doesn't exist. So it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of like it is. You can't control all the
without knowing those stories. I'm just thinking from the person who just looks at your resume, maybe doesn't get a chance to know you.
No, I
understand.
No, I get that.
Because that's gotta suck, man. Like, how do you do that?
I told him straight up what happened. I mean, one company, the first time I got laid off was Comcast back in 03, bought the company I was working for, bought AT&T broadband, and I was supposed to be on the org chart. They're like, you have a job, don't worry. And then we go to the hotel, and they got the big image up on the wall and the big organization chart, and I'm not on it. And I'm like, what's going on? And then
That's how you found out you were fired?
I was like, my boss told me I was laid off, but then they said, hey, don't worry, we're going to get you a new job. So this position will not exist, but we're getting you something else. Don't worry about it. So I'm like, I'm not on it. What the hell's going on here?
Dude,
and then I had an interview for a job that against somebody that had 20 years experience, and at that time was 30. So unless I was started at 10 years old, I was never going to get that job. The second time I got laid off, it was just kind of My boss moved up in the company, and the one person I didn't like me became my boss. So they laid me off in favor with. I had like at that point 7-8 years experience marketing. They laid me off for a 22-year-old girl right out of school.
How come? How come he didn't like you?
Him and I didn't get along. He has we'll say a history of not treating people right. So
he's not a Valuencer. He's not a Valuencer.
No, he brought no value. The third time
he brought no value. He appealed to the political structure of the organization, and therefore
he's worked his way up since the 10 years.
Isn't
since
that
I've been
bullshit?
There,
how like the people who bring the most value actually don't get promoted.
Well, that might be it sometimes. I mean, this guy basically has burned every bridge and stabbed everybody's back on the way up. And I don't think we should have this in the podcast, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, kind of, and then the third one, I was a startup company. I was killing it. I was like, I wrote for was a sports aggregation site that aggregated content from all different mediums and so forth. And I was brought on to do a sports pop culture blog. And I got almost 1 million page views in less than a year. And I was killing it. And then they sold the company. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Right. So, I mean, it was, but the thing is, the owner of the company became the CEO of THX, and he brought me over there with him like 5 years later because he needed help for social. So I had that much of a impact on him in that short of a time that he brought me on a second job, which is great. And then the fourth one was the agency.
What's it like working for an agency?
Oh, it's insane, dude. But here's the thing with the agency. And I'll tell you a story. And I don't want this on the podcast, but I'll tell you that.
Well, it's not on the Valuencer podcast.
Well, even yours, I don't know. We'll have to talk about it.
I can't unhear, Joe. Once you tell it to me,
you can't see what's forever unclean. Then I better stop talking then, because
okay, no. So okay. I was just okay. So you're on the fourth job that fired you, the agency.
Yes.
You could. I mean, why does it have to be private? Why?
Well, no, I can't. Well,
it's a Valuencer corporate.
I'll tell you off the record on the last one. I gotta tell you off the record.
Okay.
Because that one's more of a mind blower than
okay.
you'll ever believe in your
but
life.
Now I'm just why? Okay, so what would make it? We're still on the record. Because now I'm curious.
You're intrigued. I know.
Okay, so where do you draw that? Where do you draw that line? And
it can open up Pandora's box. It kind of did then when it happened, but I just I'll tell you off the record.
It's making you uncomfortable.
Yes.
My bad. That's not what I mean to do. We don't have to talk about it.
No, we can talk about offline.
Okay.
Anyway, but I don't. Yeah, we'll discuss.
It'll save me editing work if we'll talk about offline. So we'll talk about offline.
Cool, man. All right, let's go offline now. We'll talk about it.
All right.
And let's just quickly game plan about let's go offline if you don't mind.
Let's wrap it up in a more easy,
all right, professional way.
So what is it like working for an agency?
Oh, the agency, it was crazy. I mean, I learned a lot. I was an account manager at one point. I did UX, SEO, PPC to a degree. I did social content. All of when you execute a strategy and actually put the strategy together and earn customer service, it's a lot, dude. It's just way too much. And then when they hired all the other people, I got to become a social media specialist, which was actually my wheelhouse. So that helped me out,
So you were doing.
It's a good insane. It's like an adrenaline rush. I worked for 2 agencies before, and it's like go, go, go. I remember going into work and getting out of work when people were going into the bars at 9 o'clock. So it's, there's some late nights and stuff like that. So it's definitely its own, it's the nature of the beast. You got to kind of be, cut of that cloth, if you will, for an agency. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Interesting. Well, thanks, man. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for
I'm on the
first
podcast.
Show.
Splice, edit.
All right, I'm going offline.
We should do a close for the Valuencers Unite. You probably have to move this around, but whatever.
What is our close for the Valuencers Unite?
I don't know. We got to do the fist pump. You know what I mean? We got to do the Valuencers Unite. And for those people who don't know what that means, if you are probably past the age of 35, It's a thing called Super Friends that used to be on in the 70s and 80s. But Justice League. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Justice League. Well, this was the Justice League back then in the cartoon, and they had these twins called Wonder Twins, and they would touch their hands and they would take a form of anything they thought, right? Form of a windmill. Like, I don't know what a windmill is going to do for you, but if whatever that was, form of a giant hand, and that's what they would do. So they'd be like superpowered twins unite. So that's what I want to do. Valuencers.
Valuencers Unite.
Unite. See, that's what I'm saying, son.
Dude,
all right.
Joe,
well, thank you for joining the first one. Unplugged.
This is the third podcast I've done today.
You are podcasting the fuck out, son.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for being on the podcast, Joe. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out.
Okay. All right, you done?